All right, here's my audience. Who here likes action movies? Who doesn't? And what's the signature of a great action flick? The high-speed police pursuit chase. These scenes leave us on the edge of our seats. They get our blood pumping, and it gives us shocks of adrenaline. Now imagine being the officer or the criminal behind the wheel, traveling at supersonic speeds through city centers, narrowly missing pedestrians, crashing into cars. Behind the wheel, engaged in a chase, is likely not the best place to be when making responsible decisions about public safety. Obviously, law enforcement must carefully pursue criminals who committed violent crimes, but for nonviolent crimes, such as traffic violations, high-speed pursuits become deadly hazards. Pursuing nonviolent criminals is unnecessary, reckless behavior. I'll explore 3 issues supporting my opinion. First, high-speed chases are deadly. Second, high-speed pursuit policy training is inadequate. And third, pursuits that end tragically destroy innocent lives. To begin, statistics enhance the idea that pursuing nonviolent criminals is unnecessary, reckless behavior. First, high-speed chases are dangerous. A 2004 research study published in Injury Prevention highlights data from 1994 to 2002 relating to police pursuit caused crashes ending in fatalities. First, let's identify the type of person who would flee from police. The person typically that would run would be a young male under the influence of drugs or alcohol. This person would also have double the chance of having a prior conviction for DUI. They would be 3 times more likely to have had their license previously suspended and to have prior convictions for speeding. Overall, 60% held prior motor vehicle convictions. So clearly, those that are running from the police have a history of making irresponsible decisions while driving. And this disregard for public safety is something officers must take into careful consideration. In order to stress the latent neglect for public safety, I'll refer back to the study in Injury Prevention to explain the aftermath of a pursuit gone bad. Researchers sifted through national records publicly available through the Fatality Analysis Reporting System, FARS, and they found that between the years of 1994 and 2002, police pursuit caused crashes ended in 3,146 deaths. Of those deaths, 1,088 were people not in the car being pursued. They're just innocent people who just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And that number also includes 40 police officers who died as a result of high-speed pursuits. Overall, nearly 300 people each year in the United States die in crashes caused by police car chases. Statistics undeniably prove that high-speed chases are dangerous. For this reason, many of us may presume that officers are trained thoroughly in this area of law enforcement. However, that's not always the case. This leads to my second point: high-speed pursuit policy training is inadequate. In a 1998 article published in the Journal of Criminal Justice, it focused on attitudes toward police pursuit driving. And what they found was that in a survey of an unnamed state agency, 38% of police officers said they had trouble understanding their pursuit policy. Also, 80% of those supervisors said that their officers had 0 training when it came to pursuits. Clearly, the training of officers on pursuit policy leads to increased risk to public safety. If an officer has not been formally instructed on how to initiate or terminate a pursuit, how can they make responsible decisions? Well, according to the same 1998 article in the Journal of Criminal Justice, individual opinions often lead to the decision to pursue or not. The majority of officers surveyed, 84%, agreed that pursuits are necessary for forcible felonies. However, when asked about nonviolent crimes, officer opinions were divided. Some acknowledged that the inherent risks, and they said that they would not pursue a suspect, while others believed that the costs or the benefits outweighed the costs and that they would pursue. Furthermore, researchers point out that this lack of training and unclear policy results in officers getting caught up in the chase, which then makes the officer feel like they must win, and inadvertently they don't take this public safety into consideration when conditions become too dangerous. The proceeding defines an immediate need for clear-cut policies related to pursuits that are easy to understand and strictly followed. An officer's decision to pursue should be less a matter of opinion, but one that carefully takes public safety into consideration. Public safety must be considered more important than apprehending a criminal. When safety is ignored, unnecessary catastrophes occur. In the case of nonviolent crimes, no pursuit policy should be enacted in order to protect the public from reckless behavior. Lately, such events have become all too familiar here in our own communities as a result of chases initiated by nonviolent crimes. My third and final point is that pursuits that end tragically destroy innocent lives. Recent stories from the Argus Leader, South Dakota's most distributed daily newspaper, bring some sad news. Just last November, police pursued a car under suspicion of being operated by a drunk driver. The chase ended when the passenger of the fleeing car was killed in a one-vehicle crash near Chamberlain. Just this past March, 2 innocent people were killed as the result of high-speed pursuits. In early March, a teenager who stole an SUV led police on a high-speed chase down a busy Sioux Falls street and reached speeds of over 80 miles per hour. The pursuit ended when the teenager crashed into a minivan, killing the 33-year-old driver inside. And just weeks ago, a 9-year-old girl from Mitchell died when a drunk driver, being chased by police, crashed into the SUV that she was riding in. These stories do not end when the pursuits end. The pages of the Argus Leader have been filled with stories about the lives of those tragically killed. These instances not only cause harm to those involved in the accidents, but they burden entire families and communities. In the case of the 33-year-old killed by the fleeing teenager, he left behind 2 young sons and friends, family, and co-workers who loved him dearly. In the death of a 9-year-old girl, it's also rattled an entire community. The school that she attended was, counselors had to come in and talk to students there as they mourned her death. This is something that family and friends should not have to go through. Nonviolent crime should not result in high-speed police chases. The statistics and examples I've shared with you today enforce the idea that pursuing nonviolent criminals is unnecessary, reckless behavior. Is injury or even death excusable in exchange for the apprehension of a suspected criminal? I don't think so. As I've expressed, statistics prove deadly outcomes resulting from police pursuits. Police officers admit that they are not trained efficiently on high-speed pursuits and policy, and also high-speed pursuits affect our own communities. Overall, the apprehension of nonviolent criminals should never come at the expense of innocent people's lives. Pursuing nonviolent criminals is unnecessary, reckless behavior, as proven through my 3 main points. First, high-speed chases are deadly. Second, high-speed pursuit police training is inadequate. And third, pursuits that end tragically destroy innocent lives.